Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Today's video is sponsored by the cameraman's mom and, of course, Bork. Half beef, half pork. Get it today at your local store, but don't really look for it. Okay, so today we have the filter method. We have another big shout out to one of our major subscribers, Derek, who is a developer out of New York State. And if you need his information for employment, feel free to contact me and I'll forward that over to you. He is arguably one of the best JavaScript developers on the East Coast. All right. Good luck with everything today, everyone. We're working with the filter method. Already on the board, I have two arrays. One's actually empty though. So let's actually finish that and let's start filtering through this. Okay? All right. Sounds good. All right. Let's turn the camera off. Turn the camera off. Okay. Perfect. Now, what we can do, we have the first array on line 1 is my array with the elements 1 through 6, numbers 1 through 6. And the other one is going to be my object. But actually, let's call it my array object because we're going to have an array of objects. And in here, we'll have Derek, age. There should be many zeros on this, but today we'll put 35. And let's put another object in here because in your JavaScript tutorial belt or utility belt, you should be able to use the filter method. You will use it a lot. All right, and let's see, full stack. Okay, age, we'll go with 37. And so that's fine right there. We have an array of objects and we have an array of numbers. And let's open up the terminal down here. And that way we're going to use Node. So we'll actually just have everything right here on one screen. You could use the inspect tool, but we're not going to do that. And where are we here? Let's just make sure we know where we're at. Are we in? Yeah, I think we're good. All right, so let's filter this. Well, how does that work? Obviously, there's a number of different ways to filter or actually loop through an array, but we're not doing that today. We're just using the filter method. And how it works is you use the actual array and you use the filter method. And in that filter method, it's good that you notice that there are a number of different instructions that actually pop up within Visual Studio Code. But in this case, let's just call the actual data that we're working with data. Okay, this is going to be pretty much part of our callback, which again is taken care of in the previous tutorials. But we're going to say the word data is going to be our iterator. So we're going to iterate through the data. Data represents all of the data in my array. And what we're going to do with that is we're going to say, give me all of the data that is actually greater than 3. All right, now we can console log this because it will return that. But instead of console logging that, what I'm going to do is let's actually return the filtered information or the filtered data inside of a variable. And we'll just call it results. Okay. So we have the filter method, we have my array, which is we're using the filter method on. And now what we're going to do, let's go here and let's see the actual output here. But output what? We need to actually console log this. So let's console log what? We are console logging the results because the value here will be returned into results. So let's see what we got here. All right, now we can go here and say node and the name of the file. And so we'll see what we got here. We have 4, 5, and 6 because everything in here that is greater than 3 will be returned using the filter method on the array and being returned to the actual results. And that's why we get 4, 5, 6. If we wanted to change this, okay, let's say to data dot, we'll go less than. Let's see what happens when we go less than. All right, so all of the data in the array that is less than 3, and let's just press up in the terminal, hit enter, and now we get the elements 1, 2. So now we have the returned elements of 1 and 2 in the array, and that's really the simplest way you can actually use the filter method. But now let's use it on, we can keep that there. Let's use it on my array objects. So in this case, what we're going to do here is we'll do let results number 1 equal my array object. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're saying this array called my array object that has 2 elements in it, which is object number 1 and object number 2. And what we're going to do is we need to iterate through that using the filter method. So dot filter, and we can use any word that we want, data. So, or we could put num, or we just name it. We could name it results as well. Let's do that. All right, actually no. So it's not too confusing. Let's stay with data. All right, so we'll say data. And what do we want here? Now, this is where we kind of break down exactly what we have. Let's get all of the data where the data dot name equals what? Let's go with the #1 developer out of New York State. Let's see that here. All right, and then what we're going to do is log that out and see what information we get back. So console.log the results 1, and now let's see what we get. So we're saying data.name. Why are we saying data.name? Because data, which is all of the data in the actual array of objects, is it's an object that has a key. So it's going to iterate through every key value of name. Okay. All right, so now let's actually press up and run this. And here we get the object where we pretty much we get the entire object. And we're getting all of the object information where the value name equals Derek. Okay, and if you're unfamiliar with like the triple equals, that's just to match the actual match the type and yeah, so actually it's to match the actual type and the actual value that you're trying to match. All right, and that is why we got the entire object here down in the terminal. All right, if we were to say data.age, let's say greater than, let's go greater than, what do we have 35? Let's say greater than 36. Now let's see what we got here. Let's press up, and now we get name full stack age 37. So now we're getting the information that we filtered through. We're filtering any of the actual objects inside the array whose age is over 36, in which this one is 37. And that is it. Short, simple, and sweet. 2 different ways to use the filter method. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me, Mr. Fullstack. You can definitely please subscribe if you would like to be updated with different types of information that's being released from the actual channel. But other than that, hit the notifications, like, subscribe, and stack out.